Copy that, Ghost Rider. I didn't get your name, by the way.
Andrew.
Andrew Javon. Nice to meet you. And what was your name?
Max.
Max. Okay. Andrew and Max. Well, thank you guys for being here in person.
Sure. Yeah. I didn't realize it was online.
Me neither.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, it's
I
on.
was showing up anyway. So
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
better to be,
I figured doing them live stream and in person is cool. It's like in person, it's like you can ask me like here, and then when things are over, ask more questions or whatever. But online too, because like a lot of the stuff I watch it online, and like I want people to be able to replay it because it's also like, hey, man, it said something 20 minutes in that are like, hey, I want to go back to that.
And you never know when you struggle, when you're presenting and stuff, like something comes out, it's like, man, I wish I had it recorded. It's
Exactly.
better to have it captured.
Because then it's like it won't go anywhere. So.
Exactly, yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I appreciate you guys showing up in person. It means a lot. And then feel free to ask any questions. I'll repeat them to online. But, yeah. Know when you're ready, Drew. Knows power lives in what you leave alone. Creative bad boy, not messy allowed. Just teaching folks how to be human and proud. So what Javon taught me, you better lean in. He'll give you the tools in the mirror within. Alrighty, how's everybody doing? We're back for another one. This is the Creative Career Workshop. It's the last one of this series, but more will be coming. But let's just jump right into it. So what we're going to cover today, and keep it simple, we're going to do 4 different things. So it's going to be building your portfolio, developing your personal brand, networking effectively, and then freelance collaboration and pitching opportunities. This pretty much makes up like what a creative career is and how it's going to work. And yeah, feel free to drop any questions in the chat. Let me know in person. I got 2 people in here with me in person, so if you guys have any questions, let me know. Yeah. So building your creative portfolio. Your work speaks long before you do, so make it impossible to ignore. Something that I always like to recommend when I tell people in their creative careers is like, your portfolio is essentially just the paper version of you, and it's going to get you in the door. So whatever gets you in the door, that's fine. But what really sets you apart is when you get to talk to someone. You just want this to be so good that somebody's like, I have to talk to this person. And I'll tell you guys a little story about why I think that's so important a little bit. But what is a creative portfolio? Your portfolio is your curated body of work that proves your skills, your styles, your values, without you having to say a single word. It's not a resume. It's not a list of jobs. It's just proof that you can deliver what it is you say you want to deliver. Think of it as your silent pitch, the thing that speaks for you when you're not in the room. Clients, employers, all those different people, they often decide within the first few seconds if they want to keep scrolling or not. So every piece, the layout, all the details of what you do for it actually really matter. Because like I said before, it's just the piece that people see beforehand, before they even get to meet you. And it's going to be the people that are like, oh, I need to meet this person because look at their work. And it's completed work too. So it's always, that's a much more boosted step because now people see what you have already done, how you do it, and how you even display it to others. Because yeah. So 3 things it does: it gets you hired, it builds trust, and it opens doors. You'd be surprised just what a good portfolio can do because people will just find it online and say, hey, I like your work. I'll work with you. Now, what is included in a portfolio? A strong portfolio isn't about showing everything. Like, you don't got to show all the work because I've been doing video production for 8 years now. I don't need to show 8 years of work. I just need to show what is relevant to what it is I'm applying for, or what's just relevant for the work that I want to do. It's like for applying for a job at PBS, it's like, well, I want to show that I can do short form content, promotional work, vertical and horizontal, and then also long form videos like interviews and things like that, like how to light them, how to film them, where lower thirds go, graphics go, things like that go. So it just depends on what it is, the kind of work you want to do. Like if you do a lot of short films, you want to have your short film trailers in there. You want to have links to the longer versions of it. But all in all, this is the basis of what you want to do. You want to have your best work, 8 to 12 pieces. I would say 8 because I'm not going to watch 12 videos. Like, especially if I have there's 150 people that applied for my job. I'm not going to watch 12 pieces of work from 150 people. I might watch 3 of each, but yeah. So quality over quantity always. You want to ensure that every piece you have is just the most representative of your work. And then context and process. So you want to show your brief thinking process and the final result. So how did you think this video was going to go? How did you plan this video out? And what does it finally look like? You want to kind of explain those different things. Clients and people want to see how you solve the problem. They don't want to just know that you can solve the problem because, yeah. And then a clear about page. So we do want to know about you. We don't want to just watch videos and be like, yeah, this person is wonderful. They want to know who you are, what you do, and who you do it for. Like one clear sentence is enough. Like you don't have to have a full autobiography in there, but one clear sentence is enough, and it positions you as like the obvious choice because not only do these people want to meet you now, they're like, oh, this person is straight to the point. I know about them. I looked at their work. I've seen how they think. I can make a decision on whether I want to talk to this person or if I don't want to just jump straight to hiring them now. And then contact and call to action. You want to make sure people can actually call you or send you an email or get in contact with you. I've done this before. I've applied to stuff and reached back out and they're like, oh, well, yeah, we actually really liked your work, but you didn't have a phone number or email for us. And we went with someone else because we couldn't call you. So yeah, you want to just make sure it's really simple to contact you. That's really it. And yeah. And then proof of your real world work. So like the logos, the credits, the different people you've worked with. These are the different things like case studies you've put together for what works and what hasn't for the people you work with. All those different pieces, just like social proof, essentially. It turns that interest in that client into action. Because now they're like, oh, okay, I need to at least see what this person does and how they can do that for me. Because now I've seen these are the companies that I'm competing with, or these are the companies that are in my same niche. So now I want to work with this person too, because they can help me get to where I want to go. And then consistent visual identity. A lot of people actually overlook this because you want to have a consistent visual identity. And when I say visual identity, it's your font choices, it's your color palette, your tone, and it should match your personal brand. And this is more on the freelance side. So when you're freelancing and doing different things, but also even in the corporate and professional world, you still want to have consistent identity in what it is you do. You want people to watch the video and be like, oh, Javon made this video. I can tell from, how he cuts, or I can tell from how he puts his lower thirds or where he uses, or from the way he color grades, different things like that. You want to have, you want your work to have its own tone that people can tell that it's you. A couple pro tips for your portfolio. There's a difference between a good portfolio and a great one, and it often comes down to just habits that you've built and how you maintain it. But here's a cheat sheet. You do want to tailor your portfolio to each opportunity. You don't want to just have one and then just send it out to 100,000 people because they're going to be like, well, Johnny got this one and Drew got this one and I sent Max this one and I sent Andrew this one and they're all the same one. It's like, well, what you're not thinking about me as a person that you're. Oh, got a phone call. It's all good. We had a phone situation, but yeah. So yeah, you just want to tailor your portfolio to each opportunity, showing the relevant work to the job that you work, not just, yeah, you don't want it to be super simple. But you want to update it every 3 to 6 months, because every 3 to 6 months you should be doing a bunch of different projects. Not a bunch, but every 3 to 6 months you should have, a set of projects, and you want to update that work. But you can keep your really good works in that 8 to 12 pieces. So yeah, have a PDF version. It's really nice. People overlook this a lot, but like have a PDF version, because you can have hyperlinks and different things in there, and it could just be 1 or 2 pages of just your work, and people can click through it. This works a lot for like corporate people or different people that move really quickly. It's like you can send it to them in an email, and they can just go through it as they're going through it. And yeah, and we live in a world of digital, so having a PDF version is going to help you out. And you can send it anywhere at any time. You can send it really quickly. So if you meet somebody and like, hey, I want to see your work, there you go. And then get feedback too. So your peers, your mentors, people that, you really trust, people you look up to, like get their feedback, see what they say, because they may tell you like, hey, dude, I know you like this color, but this sucks. Or I know you like this, but maybe you want to change it and take this out. Or I know this may be a really good project for you, but you probably want to put, this video in here instead. But yeah, they'll also be able to look at it from a different perspective. Now, things to avoid. You don't want to include everything. Not everything you've ever made is important to every job that you're applying to do. But curation is a skill. You don't want to use hard to navigate layouts. People overlook this too. It's like, just because it looks super cool and it was really complicated to put together, that could turn somebody off a lot, because it's just simply too hard to navigate. And they're like, well, I'm trying to hire you and you're making it, I have to do a job just to go through your stuff. Like, I don't want to do that. And don't leave out your name or your contact info. Like I said, I've done it before. Don't do that. And then don't skip mobile optimization. A lot of people use things on their phone. They look at things on their phone, and you want it, like, don't skip that, because they could look at it on their phone and they're like, all right, I need to pull up my computer because this looks amazing. Or they can make a decision right from their phone too. So you never know. They might just call you. But section 2, developing your personal brand. People don't hire skills. They hire people they trust and remember. So yeah, what is a personal brand? Jeff Bezos says, your personal brand is what people say about you when you're not in the room. I really like that quote, because what do people say about you when you're not in the room? They say, hey, this person works hard. This person's always here. This person's always around. Like, think about how you present yourself to people and what they may say when you're not there. But your personal brand isn't a logo or a color palette. It's the feeling people get when they encounter your name, your work, or your content. It's the intersection of who you are, how you show up, and the value that you deliver. A strong brand makes you magnetic. A weak brand makes you forgettable. You just want people to remember who you are, trust who you are, and know that you can get the job done easily. You don't want people to forget about you. So there's 4 pillars. There's identity, voice, value, and visuals. Identity, it's who you are and your unique story. So your background, your values, your perspective. It's like, for me, who I am is, I am the producer of Glass Valley Productions. So I produce videos from different perspectives, and I focus on home builders and different architecture, because when I was growing up, we moved a lot, but I always really loved being like the feeling of walking into a new home, like the new carpet and different things like that. So I was like, well, now that I have this video production company, I can film the process of redesigning a home, redesigning a home, how homes come together, different things like that, in how, living spaces. So, and I learned that I love architecture and how buildings look, and how tearing them down and building them back up is a whole entire process. You learn a lot. So really just what makes you you is your identity. Voice, this is how you communicate and show up. It's your tone, your personality, the way you engage with your audience online and in person. Like, I think that kind of speaks for itself. Just, are you very nice? Are you very, well spoken? Are you very straight to the point, direct? Um, and there's no wrong way to use your voice. It's just more knowing, hey, this is how I use my voice. Like, I'm very direct. I'm very like, this is how I do it. This is how much it costs. And this is how long it's going to take. And if you need anything, ask me, as we go, and I'm willing to help. I'm very just like, this is how we get it. I'm very just, let's get to it. Like, let's get to the work and let's just know how we're going to do the work beforehand. So we're all set. Yeah. Visuals. These are your colors, your fonts, the overall aesthetic, your visual language that your content makes. This is the visual language that makes your content instantly recognizable in, our Instagram world, our world of crowded feeds, our world of TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, all these different content creators in the world. It's the things that viewers see when they come back to watch your stuff. And then value. This is the specific problem you solve for your audience. This is what transforms you from another creative to the obvious choice. So the specific problem I solve for people that I work with is I take their process and make it easily consumable by their customers. So for someone that wants their basement refinished, that sounds like a lot of work for someone that doesn't know about refinishing a basement. But if I work with a company that finishes them, now I can take all the different things that they do, explain it in 1 to 2 minutes to someone that is willing to spend, $250,000 on a basement and pay them. And now that client, instead of them having to have this long conversation with their customer, their customer can say, hey, I watched your videos. I trust you guys. We'll spend the money. That helps them. And then that helps me. Plain and simple. Now, you want to have a brand statement formula. Every strong personal brand can be distilled into one powerful sentence. And this is a formula I made. You can use to craft it for yourself. Now, granted, you don't have to use this, but this is a good, it's a good starting point so that you can figure it out. So 4 steps to it. You can say, I am, your role and title. I help, or who helps. This is your audience. 2, achieve X result, and by your unique method. So a good example, I'm a video producer who helps brands tell authentic stories through cinematic content that drives real audience engagement. Sounds super fancy, but it's really just saying I make videos that help you reach the audience you want to reach. But yeah. And your brand statement, it should feel natural when you say it out loud, and then practice it until it does roll off the tongue. And you write it today, share it with one person for your feedback, and then refine it. So this is a good starting point, but really refine it until it feels something like you know, like, and trust yourself. Now, where do we build our brands? These are your social medias, these are your websites, and you do it in real life. So you can do it Instagram and TikTok. Instagram and TikTok and other platforms like that, they're your visual portfolio. They're the behind the scenes in the short form that people can go to these pages and immediately learn about you. You've learned about it before in our content creation classes prior, but again, these are just short things that somebody can go right on your Instagram and say, oh, this person makes videos, or this person takes pictures, or this person does podcasting. They know about you. They learn about you. They're interested in you. And yeah, LinkedIn is where your professional storytelling, this is kind of where your longer form stuff can go. You can put shorter content on there, but these are where business professionals hang out. So they have time to like watch a 3-minute video. So this is where the professional stuff, like your case studies and your thoughts go. So like, you know, you want to share about, hey, we had this big problem with this shoot because the client was struggling to read from the teleprompter or whatever the situation may be. These are kind of, and this is the solution that we came up with. We actually ended up cutting the script and we just turned it into an interview, and that person talked with us for a little bit and we changed it, and the video actually came out way better than we expected. So, you know, sometimes pre-production is just helpful to get the ideas, and then we go for it when we actually get on the shoot, and we throw all that stuff away. But yeah, this is where people that are the decision makers discover you, and they kind of see like your professional side of things. And, you know, you can reach out to people on there too. There's a lot of business professionals that use LinkedIn religiously, so don't sleep on it. YouTube, these are your long forms. We all know YouTube. It's the tutorials, the breakdowns, the vlogs. This is where they know you, your business, and everything you do. And, you know, that content, you can have thousands of videos over years, and it just compounds over time. And now they have shorts too. So you can actually put your shorts form content on there too, and just build a whole brand for yourself on there. And personal website. This is your home base. This is just kind of where everything is going to land. This is everything that's important about you. Like, all these other places have algorithms, and those things change constantly. So this is kind of, you know, the unchanging piece that you control completely. And you want to have that just so you can make sure that, you know, your stuff is staying how you want it to stay, but also it can bleed into the other platforms just to help you. But you have a significant, looks like we have here's somebody in the background. But yeah, your website is just going to help you stay in one place, be your home base. Podcast, newsletter. This one's kind of optional, but still very helpful. This is where you build the loyal audience. So like the people that want to hear from you on a regular basis. So like that's email newsletter, that's email marketing. These are like the people that want to hear from you just on a regular basis, and they're loyal to you because, you know, your brand has brought them in. And yeah, so you build the high value content through here. So this is kind of where you have the very long form stuff. Like this is where you have the hour talks and the guests and the people you want to chat with, different things like that. But like this one is kind of optional. It just kind of depends on where it fits into your brand and if you need it to fit into your brand. But don't feel like you always have to do it. But the last one is definitely necessary, and it is in real life. You'd be surprised on how many deals you can land just by going to shake somebody's hand. Dang, that was a bar. I didn't realize that. But yeah, like going to events, going to panels, open mics, business events, showing up, like just showing up in person, it still works, and it actually wins you more than you would online, because nothing really replaces meeting somebody in person, because not only do they have your online profile, but they have a good example of you in person as well. So yeah, they have a genuine human connection. Like nothing beats that, because we're humans. So just be intentional, whatever it is you decide to make your brand strategy, and just know that these are the pieces. And also just know that these slides are yours. So if you want these slides, DCM will have them. But yeah, these slides are yours. Section 3, networking effectively. So this is actually very important. It's not about who you know, it's about who knows what you do. Everybody says it's not about what you know, it's about who you know. It's not always about who you know, because I know a lot of people, but not a lot of people can help me make money in business. But if people who know what you do, and then can put you in contact with other people that need you, it's way different. So That brings me into reframing how you think about networking. So if the word networking makes you cringe, I mean, you're not alone, because even when I hear it, I'm like, no. But the discomfort usually does come from outdated assumptions about what networking actually means. So we're going to flip the script and tell you what it really is, and it's community building. And before, networking would be thought of as you say something along the lines of, I need something from them. I'm not well connected enough. Networking feels fake and I don't have anything to offer. But how we really want to look at it is, how can I add value to them? Because you don't need something from them. You're trying to offer what it is you do, which is something of value to someone who needs it. And then every expert started at zero. Saying I'm not well connected enough is kind of defeating the purpose, because everybody who has done anything has once had nothing. So building, like I always say, you can multiply off of one, you can't multiply off of zero. But if you can meet one person that can connect you with another person, it'll steadily grow. So just don't think because, I only know one. Don't think I only know one person. Just think, I know one person. How can I know two people now? Because then 2 turns to 4, 4 turns to 8, so on and so forth. Networking feels fake. Networking does feel fake, because it's like, what? That doesn't even, like, networking sounds like I'm running cables through a house or through somewhere. But community building is like a natural thing. Like, you are building a community of people you know, that you provide value to them and they provide value to you. It's an even trade-off, and it's like, it's nice to have that kind of community, of a network of people that they all do the same thing. They all know what you do, and you guys can share each other. Like, you can help them, they can help you. And then, I don't have anything to offer. No, your perspective is valuable, because no one sees life, business, brand building, anything the way you see it. So you always have a valuable perspective, and don't forget that your perspective is very valuable, because again, nobody sees the world the way you see the world, and you can change it. Like, there's so many different things that have happened around the world that if someone just said, I don't have anything to offer, we probably wouldn't have today. Like, we probably wouldn't have, like, I don't know, like tables or toasters, just because people are like, well, I think how we do things is fine. Well, your perspective might change the way somebody entirely does something. And then they really want to work with you, because now you help them change the whole game. Steve Jobs changed the way that we use phones. And now most of us have an iPhone, and this room is filled with Apple computers. It's like, if he just said, I don't have anything to offer, it's like, well, I wouldn't be sitting here on this MacBook today. So different things. Cameras, the same way. But yeah, the most effective networkers don't network. They build a genuine relationship with someone over time by being consistent and showing up and adding value without expecting anything in return. And the key word I use is expecting, because we add value because we know how to add value. We don't add value because we want something in return. Usually, will you get something in return? Absolutely. But it's not something that you would expect, because you just want to add value because you know you can add value. Now, where do I show up? Networking, it happens really anywhere. It's not just industry events. It's not just name tags. I mean, networking is here at Denver Community Media. The key is just to be intentional about choosing spaces where your ideal collaborators, clients, people you want to work with, so on and so forth, where do they spend time? Where are they at? And online, again, social medias, LinkedIn, Twitter, Discords, Slacks, YouTube comments, all kinds of different places online. Like LinkedIn, if you want to be in more business professional and you want to talk to more business professionals, you want to work with more people in those spaces, maybe you want to start there. Twitter/X. I like to still call it Twitter because X sounds weird. But these are where industry conversations happen. Like, I'm very into finance. A lot of people in the finance world use Twitter. They post a lot on Twitter. They say a lot of things on Twitter. So I'm more likely to go beyond there because that's where my interest falls. But I'm also a video creator, so I be on YouTube too. So there's a lot. Never know. But you can add, like, being in the comments for YouTube comments, like, you can add genuine value to creators you admire, because thoughtful comments, they get noticed. They actually read those, and they can want to continue making that content. And who knows, that might give you an invite to help with their content that can lead to a whole different thing. Same with like Discords and Slacks. A lot of programmers and different tech people, and there's a lot in those Discords, those Slacks, Reddits, things like that. Creative collectives and niche groups are gold mines for collaboration and referrals. So these programmers and different people, like, they know, CEOs and bosses that are asking them, or they talk to them all the time. So you never know. Just talking to someone on one of these is saying, hey, I'm a video creator. They're like, oh yeah, our company needs to update all this different stuff. I'm glad I met you. And they've already had a conversation online. They can just go talk. It's like, hey, bro, give me your email, phone number, send me over your website and links and different things like that. You never know. And that's just online. In-person stuff, the conferences and panels. I like to go to InvestFest every year. There's like 30,000 people there. I'm certain out of 30,000 people, there's like 5 that make videos. So, or there's at least 5 companies that, like, hey, I need videos, or I need creative work. I don't know how to do it. Different things like that. But industry events, these are where you meet the people behind the profiles. You want to get there early. You want to stay there late. I don't always get there early, and I don't always stay late. So don't think that if something starts at 8, Javon's in there at 7:30 and he's not leaving till 9 p.m. No. Sometimes I get there at 7:30 and I leave at 9. So, but yeah. Local creative meetups. People sleep on these, but like open houses, gallery nights, just those informal places that people are just hanging out, getting drinks. These are where people get to know you as a person, rather than just like someone that's, they're trying to get work done with. Because it's like, well, do I even like this person? They know and they like you at these events. And now they're like, well, now I want to work with you too because I like you so much. So you never know. And volunteer for events. This is another slept on one. It's like volunteering for stuff. People see if you're willing to do it for free and they want to keep you around. Don't let them always make you do it for free. But volunteering for things can open up different doors at these different places, because you get to talk to these people in person while you're doing work. So they get to see your work ethic when you're not getting paid, and they get to learn about you as a person. So yeah, you get to actually contribute and not just be an attendee, especially for like those conferences and panels and different things like that. Even the meetups, like volunteering behind the scenes, the people that put those together. You never know. Never know who you'll meet. In co-working spaces, I don't use these too often, but you never know. Like, you never know who you'll run into at a coffee shop. Never know who's just trying to get some work done, or somebody could be stressed out about something. You overhear a conversation, you walk past them like, hey, I make videos. Your photographer just canceled. And it's happened to me before. Like, I've gone to just a small coffee shop, and there was a realtor that he was freaking out because his photographer had canceled 10 minutes before he was going to do pictures for a photo shoot. And I was like, oh, well, I'm here uploading pictures from this one photo shoot, and this is my last one of the day. You need somebody to do it? And he's like, yes, please. And now he's helping me buy my first house. So yeah, you never know. Don't sleep on them. But the other thing that a lot of people skip over is following up. One thing I will say is, you will hand out business cards. You will tell people your name, give them all your information, and they never hit you up. But normally it's not because they hate you, and it's not because they don't like you. It's because they forgot. So when you follow up, they're like, oh yeah, I remember that person. And I totally forgot because I had 1,000 other things to do. So I need to follow up. But I'm glad they follow up because now I can work with them. But yeah, 20 after this is like a good formula. You don't have to follow it exactly, but this is just kind of like something that works for me is like I wait 24 hours and then I send a personal note. It's like, hey, it was nice to meet you. Let's set up some time to chat, whatever it is you may be. Like, you know how to follow up with somebody, just sending a personal note like, hey, it's nice to meet you. Hope to work with you a little bit or hope to get to know you some more. Let's grab a coffee or something. You never know. But show that the point of it is to show that this is a connection you genuinely want to have and you wanted to follow back up just to make sure that they want to do the same. And sometimes you want to just follow this until they give you a no. You want to be annoying. Like, is it annoying? Maybe, but I'd rather be annoying and be told no than me being standoffish and never hear an answer. So yeah. Follow up until they say no. And then after 1 week, this is where you add genuine value. So you can share like an article they find that you think that they will find useful. You can make an introduction or comment on their work or whatever it is you decide. Like, you want to just this is where you start giving information of like, hey, I know we met, but here's like a lot of people don't know that you don't need to have 3-minute videos for this specific niche that you're in. Maybe you want to have 1-minute videos because they perform better with the audience that you think about. And then they'll read that and say, oh, you're right. And this is a lot of work to produce these 3-minute videos, but I can produce 14 of these 1-minute videos at the same period of time. Is that something that you could do for me? Those kind of things. Never know. And this is usually the 1 week is kind of where you want to follow up with the email, not the text message, because then they're like, well, so you kind of want to give them space on their phone, but not give them too much space that they're starting to drift away. 1 month. This is where you want to check in, but this is where you want to check in with context. So you want to update them, remind them on something you guys have discussed, like, hey, we haven't worked yet. It's been a month, and you wanted to talk to me about this, and this. I'm still working on these kind of things, and I'm growing, and I still want to work with you if that's something that you're still interested in. But it's just another check-in to make sure you're staying on their radar. And if they don't respond, again, you're still going to be ongoing. And that's step 4. You want to keep nurturing the relationship. Relationships are not transactions, so just stay consistent over months and years. And the best opportunities come from people who've watched you grow. Because maybe they're not ignoring you. Maybe they're just like, I don't really need this person right now, but I don't want to tell them no. But I noticed they're still reaching out to me. You never know. You never know what people's situations are. You never know what they're thinking. So you want to just keep nurturing all those different relationships until they tell you no exclusively, I don't want to work with you. And then even when they tell you no, maybe you stop reaching out, but you don't stop growing. Because now they're like, oh, I told this person no last year, and now, Max is making full-on movies, and I want him to shoot my movie. So you never know. Section 4 this is where all this comes into play, which is the freelancing, the collaboration, and the pitching. This is where you turn your skills into income and your ideas into opportunities. Now, the foundations of freelancing. Freelancing, it's not just creative work. It's actually running a business. You're just freelancing. The creatives who thrive treat their freelance career with the same rigor that they bring to their craft. So there's 6 pillars that every freelancer should be knowing about, and a lot of them skip over, or they don't do all 6, and that kind of separates them from being great freelancers or even landing even bigger jobs because they don't master these things. First thing is first, set your clear rates. You want to know the hourly, the project, the retainer, whatever you charge for, you want to know exactly how much they are, and you want to be firm on them. Never undersell yourself. Price for value, not your insecurity. So research what industry standards are. Research where you fit in that industry. Are you beginner? Are you intermediate? Are you advanced? Are you an expert? Are you a specialist in this one specific thing? Whatever it is, charge accordingly to that. So look at the industry standards. What do people normally pay for this? And then look where you are based on your skill level, because what are they paying based on skill level? Like, do they need beginner stuff? Maybe they'll be a cheaper client. Do they need really expert niche things? Well, that's where they're going to need a expert niche budget. So those kind of things. But price, one thing I noticed is people don't price for value. They price based off what they think they should charge. So what kind of value are you bringing? Not what do you think you should just charge for whatever this is. Second thing is use contracts. Always use them. Contracts help you. They're not for because you don't trust this person. They're so you both can trust each other, and they're so you both know exactly what's going on. Scopes, deliverables, timeline, payment terms, revision limits, all those different things. They protect you and they protect them. So protect yourself every single time. There's no exceptions, even with friends. You still want to have a contract in place because you want to be able to go back and say, this is what we agreed on. We both agreed on this. Anything that gets anything outside of this, we can't do it. Plain and simple. Number 3, define your niche. Generalists get lost. Specialists get hired. The more specific you are about what you do and who you serve, the more you're going to stand out. So when I say generalist, it's like, do you film, edit, color grade, market, all this stuff, or do you film, or do you edit, or do you color grade? Because there's a lot of different jobs you can do when you go deeper into those. It's like, are you solely a color grader? Well, you can only color grade people's stuff, and then you can start putting together different streams of income from that one niche. Not saying you can't film, not saying you can't just edit, but I'm just saying, like, what is it you solely focus on and make that your superpower, and then build off of that, and then you can add more into it later. But the more specific you are, the more you're going to stand out, because the more they're like, okay, I need a video color graded, I'm going to Javon. I need something filmed, I need it to look wonderful, I'm going to go to Drew. So on, so forth. Build a client pipeline. Obviously, you want to have a pipeline of people that you don't want to wait for work to come for you. You want outreach, you want referrals, you want platforms like Upwork to keep the funnel moving, even when projects are active. Like you don't want to, have 5 projects you're working on, and then those are the only 5 you're going to do for the next 365 days. You want to always have that thing moving to see how, because you never know, you're going to lose some projects, some things are going to go wrong, some things won't work. Some clients, they don't want to come back because they just don't want to come back. Not because they hate you or anything, but they just are like, well, we don't need to make videos anymore, so we don't need you. But you want to just have that pipeline moving, plain and simple. And invoicing professionally. People don't do this. People are like, Venmo me, Cash App me, Zelle me. No. You want to use professional invoices because you want to separate your business from your personal transactions, but you also want people to take you serious as like, okay, if I pay this person is I'm going to have to pay them through invoice. They don't accept the Cash App, the Venmo, which means I'm going to have to set real money aside and really pay this person. So yeah, a couple tools you could use are HoneyBook, Dub, Sabo, or Wave. I use QuickBooks, but ones I've looked at like HoneyBook and Dub, Sabo, and Wave, like they're probably a little cheaper than QuickBooks, but I've also been doing this for 8 years, so it's a little easier for me, and my CPA uses it, whatever. But professional invoices signals a professional business, and it gets you paid faster. And when you send invoices, if somebody hasn't paid, You send reminders a lot easier than you send a text message. You can't send a reminder on Cash App like, hey, need my little check. Like, no, but it's lovely when someone hasn't paid their invoice and I can just click remind and it sends an email. So yeah. And then number 6 is to track your finances. I just said this before, but separate your business and personal accounts, track income and expenses, know your numbers, and it's the difference between surviving and scaling. So with tracking finances and tracking those different numbers, it's like when people say know your numbers, it's like your mileage, your cost of production, the depreciation on your assets, all these different things. Like you can talk to a CPA or professional to get like exactly what it is you need to know, because I mean it's different for every brand and for every business. But the main thing we want to focus on is separating our personal and business transactions. So when tax time comes, we're not freaking out. So next thing is collaboration that will actually work. Creative collaboration can produce your best work or your biggest headaches. Is emphasis on headaches. The difference comes down to structure and communication. A lot of people struggle with both of these, structure and communication, myself included. But following these principles can make almost every partnership successful. But number 1 is align on vision first. Before you talk deliverables, before you talk anything else, you want to get on the same page about like, where's the goal? What do we want to say? How do we want to say it? And who are we going after? And when you talk about these things, it's going to either identify if you guys are going to work well together or not. Because misaligned vision actually kills projects faster than anything. Like you can miss a deadline and the client can be like, oh yeah, it's only a week past. Like we don't need it for another 3 months anyways. But misaligned vision is going to make working on the project so much harder than what it actually has to be. So talk about the vision first and see if you guys are even going to work well together. Define your roles clearly. Who does what, by when do they do it? We don't assume, we write it down. This is why contracts are important, because it's like, all right, Drew, you have agreed to be the cinematographer. That means when shoot day happens, you are there, you have the cameras, you're filming things. Plain and simple. Javon, you agreed to be the editor. So that means when we need to drop the footage, these are all the things you're going to do. Plain and simple. Yeah, just define the roles clearly. It's going to help a lot. And yeah, you don't want any resentment. You don't want to drop the ball just because you guys don't know who's doing what and when. Number 3 is communicate proactively. Emphasis on proactively. So before things happen, you want to communicate clearly. Don't wait for the problem to surface. Over communication in the early stages and expectations being set early works so well. And have like a normal check-in. So when you're working with somebody, like, all right, this project's going to take us 3 months to complete. Maybe we check in every 1 to 2 weeks just to see where we're at. Or once we finish this first part, then we check in, we move to phase 2, whatever it is. You just want to have a regular check-in process of just making sure you guys are on the same page. Credit everyone fairly. People skip this so much, and they even do it on Instagram and not tagging people, not acknowledging people, and not uplifting the people that you're working with, because that does take a huge toll on your brand, because now people are like, well, I did all this work with this brand and they didn't even mention I did any of the work. I don't want to work with them ever again. But giving that credit is not only going to help you, it's going to help those people want to work even harder, because they're like, oh, this person's lifting me up. I want to do even better work. So when they put me in the spotlight, it looks phenomenal on me and on them. People want to work with you when you give them credit, plain and simple. And it strengthens the relationship. Number 5, and I say this one profusely, but set revision limits. I cannot tell you how many clients I've done 7, 10, 15 revisions for, and I've been like, all right, y'all, I love y'all, but no, I'm not doing anymore. So set those revision limits, 2 to 3 rounds max. I would say no more than 3 for real, because and define it up front. So be clear about that up front. So because if you have so many revision, like if you have 7+ revisions, really that's just a misalignment on both you and the client's part and the person you're working with part, because you want to be like, when you send them the first one, you want to be clear that, hey, this is the tone, this is how the video is going to look, this is the flow of the video. And then they come back with can you switch these shots out? Can you, change the color on this? It's like, okay, well, now that that's done, we're what's called picture locked. So meaning like the flow of the video is not going to change. Now it may be changing like some sound here or a couple things here. Like you're just refining the video in the second and third rounds, because in the third round should be like, yeah, can we change the wording here? Or, I don't really like how that logo is. Can you make it smaller? Like it should be smaller. Like the revisions should get smaller with each round. And yeah, like the big ones come the first, semi big or semi changes in the second. And if a third is even needed, it's kind of like, yeah, can we just like clean this up a little bit? All those different things. So then you're not stressing, but it's also not slowing you down on other projects, because a lot of revisions are going to slow down other projects, and it's going to suck. You're going to be mad. Don't be frustrated like Javon, because I've spent many nights frustrated, ready to throw my computer out the window, because I'm like, please just don't tell me anything else. Last thing is the document the process. So case studies, behind the scenes, all those different kinds of content are going to help you land more clients. They're going to help you land more jobs, because people see the process you go through for everything you do. So just document it, like behind the scenes stuff. Things like documenting these things are going to help you see patterns in what people do and how clients work. And you'll be able to share that and offer insight that not very many people even pay attention to. So don't sleep on documenting the process. It's lovely. Next is pitching. How you pitch like a pro. Every great pitch, whether it's a cold email, a slide deck, or just in meeting, it answers 5 questions. You nail these, you'll stand out from most people. Number 1 is, what's the problem? What is the pain point you're solving? And be concrete in that pain point. Who are you? I mean, that speaks for itself. Who are you? What do you do? Why do you do it? How do you do it? All those different things. Lead with relevant experience, not your life story. Plain and simple. What is your solution? I mean, that also speaks for itself. What is the solution? Your idea, service, your project, whatever it is, be clear and describe how you're going to deliver it, what it is you deliver, not a vague concept or a generic generic promise. Just what is the solution? How does it work? What is all those details that they need to know? What's the outcome? What is the result that they can expect? Are they expecting a video? Are they expecting data, case studies, whatever it is? The more tangible it is, the more believable it is. You want to make sure that it is tangible and believable. So, yeah. And last but not least is, what do you need? The budget, the timeline, the access, the meetings, all those different things that you need to get those things done. And that is going to land you more than what you can expect. Because, a budget is something you need. A timeline is something you need. And access is something you need. So if you're going to work for like a company like Nike, you might say, hey, I do need 20, 30, 40 grand because you're asking me to fly to 3 different states, film multiple days, and then you want me to use all these really nice cameras and the cinema gear. And it's like, that's not free. It's not cheap either. and I have to think about transporting this stuff. So you want to have that just in your mindset. But it's also like, there's a car shop over here. It's like, well, you're asking me to come to one location and film, but you're going to have me drive around. It's like, maybe I do need 10 grand because like I still need time to edit too. So there's different things like that. So just whatever it is you need, ask for it, and make sure like there's, especially for myself, because I've done a lot of stuff in real estate, and I've got all the way to the house and the house has been locked, and I forgot to ask for the lockbox code. And now I'm standing outside looking like a weirdo in front of this empty house because I'm like, dang, I forgot to ask for the lockbox code. I can't even do what I came here to do. So yeah. But now we're reaching the end of the class. So I always leave everybody with some action steps. So the creative economy rewards prepared and consistent and brave creators. Knowledge without action is just entertainment. So here's your homework. One task from each section, all achievable before Friday, because I was like, when I was typing this, I was like, whoa, I'm gonna have it on Friday. But no, before next Friday. This should take you a week, but portfolio, you want to audit yours, remove at least one piece you're not proud of, and replace it with something that represents where you're headed, not just where you've been. So just audit your portfolio, look through it, see what you can do to improve it. Your brand, write your brand statement today or sometime this week. You don't have to do it today, but share it with one trusted person for honest feedback. Share it with me, send it to me if you guys want, and refine it until it feels like you. Number 3 is network. You want to find one online community in your specific niche and introduce yourself, and then leave 3 thoughtful comments on posts by people you admire. And number 4 is pitch. Write one cold pitch to someone you admire, a brand, a creator, a publication, whatever it is, and send it before next Friday. The worst they can say is nothing. I mean, the worst, like that is literally the worst. You'll just not hear anything back. And it does suck, but it's also like, the worst they're going to be like is no. Like, even if they respond, it's like, well, be proud that you got a response, because you never know. Because like you could send an email to Nike and they're just like, well, no, we're not looking for anybody. But now whoever sent that email is like, you're probably one of the first people they're going to look for because you had enough courage to send them an email. Or who knows, you might land a project. And if you do, call me and send me part of the budget because I got it for you. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, pro tip, set a calendar reminder for each of these tasks. Scheduling beats willpower every time. I got into the habit of putting things on my calendar, putting tasks on my calendar, so that I noticed I really like crossing things off my list. So putting them on a list, putting them on the calendar, it's like an extra little reward system, even if I don't get anything from it. But yeah, last but not least, thank you all for being here. Being in person, thank you for everybody online. Your presence means a lot. Thank you for everybody who showed up here in person, online. You guys all mean a lot. So share this workshop with anybody who you think may need it, and tag us, Denver Community Media, and take action on your homework. And I want to celebrate your wins. We want to celebrate your wins. So, feel free to reach out to me. Feel free to reach out to Denver Community Media. And yeah, like, we want to celebrate with you. We want to grow with you. So yeah. Are there any questions online, in person? You have a question?
Where do we find this stuff online? Like, if we want to look at the slides again.
I will make sure. So the question was, where do we find this stuff online? I will make sure DCM gets the slides. I'm going to send them to Drew, and they should be on the resources page on Denver Community Media's website. And if not, they have my contact information, so just reach out to Denver Community Media, and I will make sure I send it to you, because I owe them some slides. I have them all on my computer. They just have never made it to DCM. But yeah. Any other questions? Got any questions online, Drew?
No.
Cool. Well, Other than that, I think we're good. Thank you everybody for being here.
Thanks.
Where do you want the sign-in sheet?
You can bring it up here.
That's the real flex. That's the dangerous joy. Javon, the creator.